So, you own a Nissan, and you've run into a pretty common but kind of tricky error code. Well, today we're going to break down exactly what that P1721 code means, and more importantly, how you can fix it.
You know the feeling. You're just driving along, minding your own business, and then, bam, the check engine light comes on. It's your car's way of saying, hey, something's not right, but the big question is always, what is it? In this explainer, we're going to play detective. We're zeroing in on one of Nissan's most frequent offenders, the P1721 error code. We're going to identify the suspects and crack this case.
Okay, first things first. What is your car actually trying to tell you when it flashes a P1721 code? Let's decode that message.
So, what does P1721 really mean? Well, at its heart, it's a communication breakdown. Your car's transmission control module, the TCM, is supposed to be getting a signal about your speed from the instrument cluster. You know, your dashboard. But for some reason, that signal isn't getting through. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your transmission is trying to make a really important phone call to your speedio, but the line is crackly, or maybe it's been cut completely. Without that clear signal, things get confusing, and boom, the check engine light pops on.
All right, so if we've got a communication problem, we need to figure out where that breakdown is happening. Let's line up the 4 usual suspects that could be causing all this trouble.
Our investigation points to 4 main culprits. We could be looking at something physical, like bad wiring or a sensor that's gone kaput. Or the problem could be a little sneakier, like an electrical issue in a circuit or even a software glitch in the car's brain. We're going to dig into every single one. Okay, time to put on our detective hats. Let's go through these suspects one by one and figure out how to pinpoint the real root of the problem.
Let's kick things off with our most common offender, the physical wiring. We're talking about the harnesses and connectors. These are literally the pathways that carry that all-important speed signal.
So when you're looking at this, you're basically just doing a visual inspection. Are there any wires that are obviously broken or frayed? Are the plastic connectors cracked, corroded, or maybe just not plugged in all the way? Sometimes the fix is as simple as finding a loose connection.
Now, let's move on to our second suspect. This one's a bit more hidden. The problem might not be visible damage, but an electrical fault inside the wiring itself.
An open circuit basically means there's a complete break somewhere in the wire, and the signal just stops. A shorted circuit means the electricity is taking a shortcut it's not supposed to. And here's the really important part. You have to find and fix this fault. If you just clear the code without fixing the problem, I guarantee you it'll be back.
All right, on to suspect number 3. So what if the wiring seems perfectly fine? Well, the problem could be at the source of the signal itself, the vehicle speed sensor.
This usually goes one of 2 ways. Either the sensor itself has just failed and isn't sending a signal anymore, or the connection to the sensor is the issue. The sensor could be perfectly fine, but if it's not plugged in right, it can't do its job.
And for our final suspect, we're looking at something you can't see or touch. It's kind of like the ghost in the machine, a software issue deep inside your car's computer. Yeah, sometimes all the physical parts are working just fine, but the software that's supposed to be reading the signals gets buggy or out of date. This could mean it needs a software update or a full reset of the engine control unit. And let me be clear, this is definitely a job you want to leave to an experienced mechanic with the right gear.
Okay, so we've investigated all our suspects. Now let's pull it all together and see how each specific problem lines up with its specific solution.
This chart makes it super clear, right? The solution is a direct match for the cause. If the harnesses are bad, you replace them. If there's an issue with the circuit, you repair it. A bad sensor? Just swap it out for a new one. And a software problem? That calls for an update or reset from a pro. It's really just a logical process of elimination.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Once you understand what might be causing the problem, you're no longer just staring at a confusing light on your dash. You actually have a clear path to diagnosing and fixing the issue for good.
So with these clues in hand, the mystery of the P1721 code isn't so mysterious after all, is it? It's a solvable problem. The only question left is, are you ready to solve it?